Saxons!
Welcome back to school, and welcome back to Finn.
I don't know why, but I get the feeling that something weird is going to happen soon.
Maybe because it's almost the end of the year. I mean, seniors are graduating and moving off their lives. New people are going to come in.
No, this feels more like a disturbance in Finn.
I mean, there's always disturbances here. Probably nothing, Noah. Just hope it's nothing too disturbing for general news.
Here's Project Hope. Ferris Theater Arts will present Radium Girls by Dave W. Gregory on Thursday and Friday. Both shows are 7 p.m. and tickets are $8 at the door. All proceeds benefit the Woman Helping Women Fund of Spokane.
Radium Girls is based on the true story of the women factory workers who fell ill with radiation poisoning from radium paint, after being told it was safe by their employers. Here's a little more on this year's Project Hope from the cast.
Radium Girls is the newest addition to Ferris's Project Hope. Radium Girls is the story of a group of women selected to be in the U.S. Radium Corporation from the 1910s to the 1920s, during World War I. The girls would paint watch faces using radium-infused paint. Little did they know that this paint would later cause them medical illnesses such as cancer, as well as their jaws rotting within their mouths and sometimes falling off completely. This year's Project Hope is primarily focusing on women in the workforce that are sometimes overlooked. This still happens today, and we have chosen to look at this more closely. And we have decided to donate all of our funds towards the Women Helping Women Fund. So if you'd like to come support us, you are also supporting the women of our community. Thank you.
On May 31st, we have the Spring Con in the gym. After school, there's also the second annual Ferris Fun Fest until 5 p.m. at either the track or Victory Plaza. There will be games, yearbook signing, a photo booth, snow cones from Kona Ice, and more. Here's some pictures from last year's Fun Fest.
We have AP testing until Friday the 17th, and then there's SBAC and WCAS testing on May 23rd.
With the end of Hope Week, Gavin McElrath has some insights on student mental health.
So to pretend that the stakes aren't higher for kids today is just wrong. It's naive. So it is a more anxious time. It's a more fast-paced and overwhelming place to live, and it makes sense that there would be more anxiety amongst our teens. So I'm Mrs. Torres, and I am a trauma-informed educator for Spokane Public Schools, along with a handful of my colleagues. And the reason I became trauma-informed is because we need better social-emotional language in the high schools. And so what I've been able to do is take what I've learned about social-emotional learning, the brain states, working with therapists, and having training in trauma, and create English classes that bring the two together. So I actually have a couple classes where I have speakers come in one time a week, and we deal directly with moving through some difficult emotional scenarios, which we all either have encountered already or will encounter because that's part of this great experiment life that we're in.
My name is Sean. I'm in a private practice, which basically means I'm a counselor who is his own boss. The program that Ms. Torres has got going on for so many years. I mean, I would be a different person if I had a program like that in my high school. Because I think it's like really, really, really hard to be a high school student, especially more difficult than like when I was growing up because of things like social media. I'm shocked by the amount of stress and pressure that I hear from young people and students that they put on themselves. Schools ask a lot as far as how much work needs to be done and what the work needs to look like.
The Surgeon General has said that mental health is our largest epidemic for the United States of America. We know that to be true, and we know that students have had increasing pressures and anxiety for good reason.
And everybody needs, and students especially, because they've got so much pressure and stressors, access to some amount of internal safety and comfort, which is not always easy to come by. What part of what I hope to bring to in my role to Torres's class is the same thing that I want to bring to every person that comes into my office, which is I think everybody needs just one person because as hard as it is to be a young adult or an adult, if we have just one person that can give us this, that we do okay.
For this week's teacher feature, Lily Short talked to business and marketing teacher Mrs. Gold.
Yeah, one of the things that I enjoy most is that every single day is going to be different, and students are learning valuable work skills that they can take out into the workforce and use those to apply and get a job and be a valuable contributing member of our community. I got into teaching through, his name was Buzzy Welch, and he called me his comeback kid. He got me into coaching, and I coached a lot of different sports with him. And while I was going to school in Montana, he said, Cheryl, I think that you would be a good teacher. And so the rest is history. Once a Saxon, always a Saxon. And I graduated from Ferris, was very involved in Ferris when I went to school here. And I like the community, I like the parent involvement, and I just like the challenges that the students give me every day. One word to describe Ferris. Energy. There's a lot of energy here. I have been teaching for 35 years. I started in a little school in Harrison, Idaho, then taught at Gonzaga University in the PE department, and then have been at Ferris since 2001.
Moving on to club news.
Theater Club and Stage Crew are meeting today after school in the auditorium for elections and voting for the end of the year awards. GSA meets every other Monday in M102 after school. Their next meeting is on the 20th.
BSU meets every Monday in M206 during both lunches. First Gen Club meets every Tuesday in the College and Career Center during both lunches. The Multicultural Club is meeting today in M104.
On Wednesdays after school, Math Club meets in M116, ASL Club meets in M303, Chess Club meets in M203, and Ferris for Christ meets in M114. Native American Beading Club is meeting after school this Wednesday, the 15th, in M104.
Art Club meets every other Thursday in M502 at 2:30. Their next meeting is this Thursday. Spanish Conversation Club meets on Fridays during both lunches in M308.
Film Club's upcoming Ferris Film Festival is this Wednesday, May 15th in the auditorium. Categories of student-made films including drama and comedy, documentary and news package, music video, and commercial/PSA.
HOSA's Science Night is on the 23rd. Here's more on that from HOSA students.
Join us for Ferris HOSA's Science on the South Hill Night, May 22nd at Ferris from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
At this event, we're going to have a walk through colon. You heard me, a walk through colon. We're also going to have pipetting, organ exploration, a CPR challenge, a phlebotomy arm, and fingerprint dusting.
Gain connections and get more information about job shadowing and colleges like EWU, UW Medical School, and Spokane Community College. Hope to see you there.
Now, on to a little sports news.
On Wednesday and Thursday, Gulf Districts meet at Etterwood at 11 a.m. And finally, here's a little senior news.
The last day of school for seniors is June 6th. They have a mandatory graduation practice in the Aux Gym from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. on Friday, June 7th. Graduation is on June 9th, and afterwards is the Senior All-Nighter. This year, the All-Nighter is free for everyone.
Gosh, the end of the year, you guys must be terrified. It makes me wonder though, how did other people feel when they left?
Well, wonder no longer. I talked to a couple of Ferris graduates about how school prepared them for life outside.
Hi, I'm Eric Powell, and I graduated from Ferris in 1990, and I've been teaching at Ferris since 1999, so this is my 25th year here. High school at Ferris, it prepared me very well for life after high school. My teachers and coaches did a great job with all the technical part of school, teaching skills and, academic knowledge and stuff, but they did an even better job of preparing me to work with people, to problem solve, to be creative, and to believe in myself. My teaching looks different today in many ways than it did in 1999 when I started at Ferris, and certainly in 1994 when I got my first teaching job. It's I feel like I'm much more about helping students learn and partnering with them to become better thinkers than being someone who just gives them information that is standing. You know, I still try different methods of teaching, but I see myself as partnering with students a lot more to help them achieve their goals.
My name is Meg McFarland. I graduated in 1998, a long time ago. Ferris High School prepared me for life very well. I would say that the 4 years that you're in high school are the biggest time of personal growth that someone goes through in life. So you're going through social growth, personal growth, and you're deciding where you're going to go to college, so you're making really big life decisions. So in high school, I started getting interested in Spanish classes, and actually I took DECA my senior year of high school. So at that point, I knew that I wanted to study Spanish and I wanted to be in business somehow. And now, later in life, I'm doing both of those together. So they were great experiences for me, exposed me to new things in life that I didn't get exposed to before.
It's the final step before you enter the real world into college, which also college is not as scary as it may seem. I think even after high school, it was still not what people made it sound to be. I think high school is meant to be more of the final stage of figuring yourself out as a kid, and then in college, figuring yourself out as an adult.
That's all for Finn. Thanks for watching.
This week's Finn is brought to you by Exercise, for when everything else doesn't work out. Have a great week, Saxons.
Good morning, Ferris High School. This is Mr. Lewis. I've got some information for sophomores and juniors. 1 week from today, May 20th, in advisory, we need you to bring your laptop and your laptop charger, because we're going to give you an opportunity to practice for the state exams. Sophomores, you're going to be doing your English and math exams, and juniors, you're going to be doing the state science exam. The actual exams will happen the following Thursday, the 23rd. I'll talk a little bit about that next week. All students will be in advisory all day on Thursday, the 23rd, but more on that next week. Just for now, you need to know, sophomores and juniors, bring your laptops next Monday, the 20th, in advisory. You'll get a chance to see what the tests look like and feel like, and be ready for those state exams the following Thursday. So next Monday, sophomores and juniors, bring those laptops and chargers to school. Thanks.